It is 9:29 a.m. on Thursday, March 14th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. I am proud of myself for having 2 days in a row now slightly shifted forward my bedtime, wake time. So getting a little bit closer to what I feel like would be the appropriate day and night cycle here. And good morning, Spence. Yay! Today I felt like talking about growing things, and I was inspired specifically by this little guy. This was just a random impulse buy at a drugstore the other day. It was part of the, Easter seasonal things. So the basic idea here is that it's just a little tiny planter with some grass seeds that you grow grass in, and it's kind of like his hair. Get it? So that was a couple of days ago that I bought it, and I, set it by the windowsill, and now I've got a little bit of grass growing in there. You can let's see that there's still some shoots coming up, so I think his hair will be a little bit fuller as it continues growing. And part of the reason that I like this sort of thing. I don't have a lot of plants at the moment, partly because there was the travel. So frequently, it's been a while, since I started the travel, since I had the arrow garden going in the back there, but I've been missing it. And the only reason I haven't started a new kit yet is just because I'm waiting to find out what my travel schedule is going to be. Because what I don't want to have happen is to be in a position where I start a new one and get it just a couple of weeks in, just where they're starting to sprout, and then I have to be gone for a month, and it's long enough that it will run out of water and the plants will die. And it's like, that's no good. But I do miss it, and it's something that both my mom and my stepmom are both very into gardening. And when I was growing up, my mom always was into gardening. She had various little vegetable and fruit gardens in the backyard. And I remember that one of my first childhood experiences that I think led to my interest in science was related to that, because it was when I was shown some little leaves and told that those were mint leaves. And just making that first connection in my brain between this leaf, you can smell it, if you kind of chew it up and taste it a little bit, you can taste that flavor that's not quite like mint ice cream or something, but you can see that there's you can taste that similarity, and realizing like that's where these things come from. And it's not it was one of those first real lessons where it's like you can be told things, but then when you kind of sort of understand and it clicks for the first time, of realizing how everything you go and buy at the store comes from something else. There's a process made, and it's how things come from one place and grow to another place, and I think all of that is just fascinating, and I think it can be very satisfying watching things grow. But I don't have a yard right now, and so having a garden is not something that I'm not honestly sure if I would spend the time on it in if I had a yard anyway. But yeah, Spence says mint is great. It's also a weed and will grow just about anywhere. Well, I know that when I've had the herb kit on the Arrow Garden, mint was always one of the ones that I really liked having on there, for just the reason that I have this emotional association with it. But growing little plant things like this, or just having something and being able to watch the progression of it in a reasonable time scale is very satisfying, I think. You know, I until I and something like this, pretty easy. And just kind of got a little guy here. And yeah, so I guess that's what I felt like talking about today. So in the meantime, I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.